Hey, welcome to another episode of the Black Guy Who Tells podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we are live on a Sunday, a frigid Sunday throughout the East Coast and a lot of America right now. I saw the chat room in there when I was playing music. And they were just talking about how cold it was where they are. People getting 5 degrees, 13 degrees. It's a sunny 56 right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Went outside today, just walked around a little bit, but hey, can't be hot everywhere. The official weapon of the show is
the taser.
No, it's not. No, you had a streak going. You flew too close to the sun.
I did.
You got ahead of yourself. You got comfortable, Karen. You got comfortable. And this is what happened. The official weapon of the show is
the folded chair. I go on autopilot. I'm so sorry, y'all.
The unofficial sport.
Bullet ball.
A bullet ball. Extreme.
The streak start over. It's back to one day now.
Lots of bullshit to talk about today on the day before MLK Day. Karen, do you have any banter or you good?
Not really.
Okay, well, we're moving on.
Okay.
Either you have it or you don't, Karen. All this is about is if I'm going to play the music or not.
Okay.
We can put a commercial break here.
Go ahead and do a commercial break.
Okay, here we go. All right, Karen, hit me with some banter.
It's I guess they could say it's anything so it's banter, but I have really been enjoying making my smoothies in the morning time. And I have found little tricks that most people probably know this, but
well, some people might not, Karen, and it's your banter, so tell them.
Yes. So I am lazy, Lazy. So when it comes to my smoothies, I don't want nothing complex or complicated and nor time consuming. Like I just cannot deal with that. So for me, what I've learned to do is I get like a bunch of fruit. So I like apples and strawberries and blueberries and pineapples and melons and all that type of stuff. And I chop them up and I get like a cooking sheet or like a baking sheet, a cookie sheet or like a baking sheet, and I align it with parchment paper so it doesn't stick. And I throw it all in there and I freeze it. Now, like I said, I'm lazy. So what I ain't going to be doing is chopping up no melons and shit with pits and all that type of stuff in it. I tried. Bullshit. So I just go ahead over there to the fruit section of the grocery store. And they have it already pre-chopped up. So I just chop it up a little smaller and I'll do that. And so it's like all the beautiful colors and stuff like that. So I chop them up and I freeze them. I put them in the freezer. And I like greens, but I don't want no green smoothie. But I do want green stuff in my smoothie. So what I did was I had Roger buy a bag, or I guess you can do it fresh, of a baby spinach. And so I basically took the baby spinach, and with the baby spinach, I have like a bunch of things, kind of like turmeric and ginger and a lot of stuff that's actually really good, for your body. Any like protein shake stuff or anything. I like apple cider vinegar too. And I kind of mix it all with my green smoothie. I put oats in mine too because I like oats, and it's actually a good way to get oats in there without eating like plain oats. Quick oats is probably the best because just chop it up really, really good. And so what I do with my with green, and you could do it with like anything green. So this is just all green. And so I put all my green stuff in there and put any other stuff I want to get in there, and then I blend it. and then I'll take the green stuff and I actually put them in ice cubes. I have this ice cube thing that actually take it and it makes it into really small individual cubes. And so with that, I just pop one or two. You can make like it's kind of like 15 or 20 little individual cubes, but they're small enough and they're big enough, but they're not like big like a regular size ice cube. And so I take that and I have one bag full of my fruits or whatever I'm gonna do, and I have one bag full of green. And I actually get up in the morning and I go in and just open up the bag full of the Ziploc bag full of fruits, throw them fruits in there, and my little blender, pop a thing or two of green, and I blend it. I blend it. I use water, half water, and I like apple juice, but you can do all water if you choose to. And some people do other juices, depending on what you're in the mood for. But I'm a big apple juice fan, and so I blend it and I do that, and I've realized that this is something that I can keep up because I know we've been talking about changing the way we eat and consume things, stuff like that. So I was thinking, okay, I want to do these things. At one period of time, I was doing this for a while. I was doing it really, really good. But like I said, I'm lazy. So I was like, what can I do that's best for me that does not cost time consuming in the morning? Because most time I'm doing this first thing in the morning, and I don't want to be individualizing everything, chopping up everything that day. So like I said, I do it all in advance, which actually saves me a lot of time, and it's actually really enjoyable. And also with the same frozen fruit, I actually have like a water thing that has like a fusion in the middle where you could put your fruit in it. You could pour water around it. A fan had sent me one and I got like another one. And so also with that same frozen fruit, I put it in here and drink that to increase my water intake because it just sweetens the water. And in addition for that, I put fresh turmeric and fresh ginger with that too. And you can do mint and all types of things, whatever your heart desire to do. And so I've been really enjoying that a lot. And it's been something that I know I'm going to keep up with.
And this is you not having banter. All right, got it. All right.
Because sometimes I be thinking it's not that important, but then I'm like, you know what?
No, banter is for the unimportant shit. It's not. You don't have to have. It's just whatever we feel like talking about. I've heard all these other podcasts, and they get on the mic and they just talk about stuff, and so that's what we do. Okay.
Yay! So I'm glad. Hopefully, I help somebody out with this, and it's been a fun process.
Yeah, I made now of course she never offers me any other smoothies, y'all. So don't worry about that if that's what you've been worried about.
I can make you some.
She just wakes me up with the blending of it, in the morning, and then she goes about her day.
I'm so loud.
It's okay. It's
I
fine.
apologize.
It's fine.
I'm looking at myself like, did I wake you up? People like, you loud.
It's okay. I'm just joking. But I did have plenty of banter.
Okay.
Random things to talk about. We're keeping it on the food thing, and I'll go into detail probably on Lip Smacking Good, but
okay.
I wanted some mushroom chicken the other day, and I was on my way back home from the YMCA, and I was like, man, because sometimes I would just order like mushroom chicken from a Chinese place or something because I like it and it's delicious. But depending on who makes it and how they make it, it can be made different ways and stuff. But I was like, wait, I could probably just look up how to make it, and I wonder if I can make it at home. And so I looked up a recipe and I made it at home, and I didn't do it right. I messed some steps in the wrong order up, but not bad enough that it wasn't good or that it didn't turn out
like really good,
edible and delicious and stuff. And now I'm like, I'm gonna do this again. And I learned a lot of stuff. I didn't know you could tenderize chicken with bacon. I think it was bacon powder.
What is bacon? What's bacon powder?
Bacon soda. I think it was bacon soda.
Right.
Yeah, it's the one that you put in the kitchen in your fridge. Yeah, I didn't know you could tenderize something with baking soda.
I did not know that either.
And that chicken was so soft. Like it was really
absolutely delicious.
Yeah. So anyway, it was cool to like learn how to do stuff like that.
And with you doing that, you making me think of other stuff that I like that I'm trying to find a good substitute for, because like I absolutely love pizza, any type of pizza. So I was like, okay, what can I do? So I found a good recipe online for a cauliflower pizza. And it was simple, so I said, I'm gonna do this, and they went through.
Well, they have the cauliflower crust and stuff at stores too, I believe.
Yes.
If you want to hand make a pizza, they also have like frozen pizzas that have different type of crust. You can also go to Mod Pizza and get a cauliflower crust. I think Bricks does it as well.
Okay.
So like, if that's a big alternative or something you want to use, I like some stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I just feel like I'm not gonna eat them as often, but when I eat them, I'm just gonna eat them. And pizza is one of those ones that I'm like, I don't know that I'm gonna find an alternative to it or not, but yeah, there's definitely different versions of pizza that are better, like healthier, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel you. I've looked into that too.
And I think for me, the biggest reason why I know I want an alternative, because I love pizza. What's your favorite food, Can? Motherfucking pizza. Breakfast pizza, lunch, dinner, pizza. So I was like, I got to find me a substitute for pizza.
Yeah, well, I just want you to know, I wasn't trying to find a substitute when I did the chicken and mushrooms. Because chicken and mushrooms from a Chinese spot is not that bad, like for you or whatever. I just wanted to see if I could do it myself. That was it. Like low key, when you buy all the ingredients, you spend more than just ordering it from, some place. But I just wanted to know how to make it at home. Anyway, so that was one thing. On a serious note, I saw this video on Twitter and it pissed me off more than I thought I could be pissed off about something.
Oh, snap, what happened?
And I'm trying to go into 2024 not being as angry and understanding people have different opinions. But Joy-Ann Reid has a show to read out, and she invited Charlamagne on with Angela Rye. And a couple of things happened there. And I, normally try to stay away from talking about Charlamagne and the Breakfast Club just because I don't know that, like, I don't want to just like make it so that all their conversations are just fodder for our conversation.
Right.
Yeah. But I think this is very important. It's about the election and it's about 2024. And so Joy Reid invites Charlamagne on and calls him a political maverick. And she does this thing where he's supposed to speak for all the black voters or the black people that are non-voters and stuff. I'm not sure how he got that role to people.
Me either.
And I know he's a gatekeeper. I know he has a lot of people within the industry that are beholden to him.
Right.
There's another clip from the Breakfast Club where Angela Rye, Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Gillum are starting a podcast together, and they went on his show. I might even play that because I thought that was also disgraceful. But they have people, they have them on and they ask like basically why black people don't vote for you or whatever. Like why aren't black people voting? And actually, this is the wrong clip. This isn't the one I want to show. Give me a second to find the other one. But but they treat him like he's the black non-voter whisperer. And from everything I know, he's mostly politically uninformed and chooses to remain uninformed. Like he has people come on his show. He asks them the same series of questions pretty much every time, which is why shouldn't black people just go ahead and vote Republican?
Right.
And every time he has someone that's actually like, informative on there, he acts like it's the first time he's ever heard any information on why black people shouldn't just go and throw our votes to Republicans. And then the next time someone comes on, it's back to zero. Like, why shouldn't we do that? And he never says he's going to do it himself. He never says he's not going to vote or anything. But he's definitely trying to get a viral moment, setting up people to say, I'm going to vote Republican or I'm going to vote for Trump, because that would help his show the most. That gets the most attention is Angela Rye goes on the show and says she's voting for Trump would be a big story.
Right, because
as opposed to
of everything she stands for.
Right, and he puts people on the opposition immediately and they end up backpedaling. So, but this is the clip that I saw. It was from Joy-Ann Reid's show where Jason Johnson was on there and they were talking about Joe Biden and what he needs to do.
I am glad that Joe Biden decided to go. I'm glad that Joe Biden decided to speak. But the truth of the matter is he's speaking to the choir, literally and figuratively.
Now he's talking about Joe Biden going to Mother Emanuel and talking to black politically active religious voters in the South.
Okay.
At the spot that
His
Dylan
voting base. I said his voting
yeah,
base.
at this a place that remember they took Iowa and said no, South Carolina should be the first place that we do our stuff because he is beholden to black voters and recognizes our power.
Right.
But also in this case, it's the spot where Dylan Roof killed those people.
Right.
And it's also he was protested at this event too, I believe. And there's been a lot of back and forth and hullabaloo over it. I personally feel the same way I felt when Obama got protested. The job of the protester is to protest.
Yep.
I'm not gonna add any respectability to it. I'm not gonna act like I'm offended or some type of affront or there's a sacred space where protests can't happen.
Right.
Honestly, the more sacred the space, the louder the protest.
Yeah.
And the same way I didn't like when people were like, stop blocking the highway, Black Lives Matter. It's like, no, that's the point. We want to make things inconvenient for you.
Yes.
And in this case, like maybe people just feel like it's too sacred a space because we're black. Maybe they feel like the cause isn't good enough of people wanting to stop the killing of the Palestinian people or whatever. I don't care about all that. Like I just think everyone was there to do a job. So were the protesters and they did their job. So I'm not even debating that part. Argue amongst yourselves. But he was there addressing black people, politically active black people, letting the world know he cares. Okay, so that's what Jason Johnson is talking about. But peep this.
Speech that he gives at Mother Emanuel is not going to move the needle if the larger way we're looking at this is his soft support amongst African Americans. It's not soft support because black people don't like Joe Biden per se. It's that black voters who are the backbone of the Democratic Party don't necessarily feel that he has been an active fighter on black voters' behalf, especially in the face of sort of white supremacy and white nationalism on the other side. So again, nice speech, very moving, very emotional. I don't know that it's doing enough. If I were Joe Biden, I'm not trying to be glib when I say this, Joy, but if I were Joe Biden, he is 2 or 3 months behind in talking to Charlemagne again. He's 2 or 3 months behind between, knocking on doors and getting into communities in ways he should be, putting out Vice President Kamala Harris. Quite frankly, right now, if I were in Joe Biden's office, I would be calling Shannon Sharp, right? I mean, like literally, he should be speaking to a wider array of black people than just going to Mother Emanuel.
Okay. So this is the thing that kind of incensed me as I was thinking about it. Are there any other people that we tell the president to go talk to their entertainers?
No!
As if they're representatives of the politically active voters? We want, and I'm tired of, and honestly, I try not to complain too much about just Democrats in general because I know it's a hard hill to climb and they're doing their best. But whoever the political strategists are, and I'm sure they saw like Obama and they were like, oh, he was able to get like grassroots and radio stuff. Whoever the strategists are, why the fuck is the Breakfast Club on the list?
Right.
Like he need to go talk to the dude that sniffs the seats of women that would get up, celebrities would get up out of their seats and he would sniff it to see what their butt smell like. The guy who's been accused of sexual assault, the guy and made jokes about it and told stories about it. And then of course, when shit got tough for him, was like, oh no, that was just stories. But for years I told these stories as if they actually happened. And there is a woman who said she was raped by me, but that it's all, hey, it's just bullshit. The dude that when you had politicians go on there, what was the thing that came out of that? We never come out of that talking about policy.
No,
we come out of that going, does Hillary Clinton really keep hot sauce in her bag?
Right.
And isn't that pandering to black people? That you now keep in mind he set up that question and asked. He set up the question and asked Kamala Harris, who's about to be vice president possibly at the time. Maybe I don't remember if she was actually running for president or not. But when she came out of that interview, what were we talking about? Did she smoke weed in college and listen to Tupac? That's what we were talking about. This is not a serious platform. And why the fuck are we treating it? And I can't imagine how detached George Reed and Jason Johnson sound to me. You sound detached from reality in thinking that Club Shay Shay, where Cat Williams goes on there and just says whatever the fuck for 3 hours unchallenged, where there's no real interview questions at all. He's not an interviewer.
No.
So why are you debasing black people to spectacle? And so, you know, and there were people that took exception with what I'm saying, which is fine. I don't mind taking exception. I'm a grown ass man, and I truly believe what I'm saying, and I just disagree with y'all that think he need to go on there.
Right.
But they were like, "You go where the people are," and I said, "Wait a minute. They don't say that about nobody else, because you know where the people are for white people? Joe Rogan show.
Yes.
Joe Biden will never step his ass on a motherfucking Joe Rogan show, not once. Why? Because it's beneath him. He would not sit up there with that ass clown and go, well, hey, I know he just spreads vaccine misinformation and talks about being able to suck his own dick, but I got to go where the people are. You would never see Kamala Harris on Real Housewives.
Right.
Yeah, sure, a lot of people watch it, but that's not the fucking venue for a serious political discussion. You know, I'm sick of this shit. And it would be different if, like, even in those episodes, it was like, you know what? In those episodes, the Breakfast Club people actually do very serious, hard-hitting interviews. They have legit critiques. They know what is happening. They know the facts of things. No, it's literally just shit radio, just lowest common denominator type of shit. You know, the one dude is fucking under investigation for fraud. Like, Kamala got to come in there and be like, and while I'm here, Merrick, you want to handle this? Like, get the fuck out of here. It's so like, it feels to me, and maybe I'm stretching it and I can see how people would disagree, but it feels anti-black. It feels like they're saying we're fucking stupid. Let's go talk to your comedians. Let's go talk to your entertainers. Cause we don't need to go to serious political spaces. And for people that are like, well, that's just saying we don't have serious black political spaces. No, we actually, Joy Reid is one of the spaces.
Right.
You're right there on MSNBC and you're going, go talk to this dude. And it makes me think, because Joy Reid thinks her audience is like above that, or it's not really a black audience, or more of these dummies, these dumb blacks will be reached by if you go talk to Charlemagne. Because it's like, why wouldn't you be advocating for Kamala Harris and them to come on your show? You have legitimate critiques, and this isn't about a softball shit or whatever. If you're gonna get Joe Biden on a gotcha question, if you're gonna get Kamala Harris on a gotcha question, I don't want it to be weed and Tupac.
Yes, I want to be about policy.
Be a policy thing. If you're gonna say they don't do enough for black people, let's be specific. Ask them to their face, like, hey, this is a thing I think you can do better. What are you doing? Don't just fucking talk platitudes. And it's fucking sickening because it's 2024 and we don't have time to fuck around.
Right.
This is an existential threat of Trump coming, and these motherfuckers are still like, how wouldn't it be funny he went on Club Shay Shay and drank fucking brown liquor with this dude?
No.
That's fucking stupid. And if you think people, I know people are stupid, and there might be some dummies who are like, I saw Joe Biden drink brown liquor, so I got my vote. But that's fucking dumb. Like, what are we doing here? So, like I said, it was infuriating, and it is a weird type of anti-blackness to me, because you're not truly believing in these spaces as communal spaces of conversations that are serious. We have the evidence they are not, and they refuse to be. They do their best to not be that. Like, it's just a flex for them. It's just clicks for them. It's just, how can we go viral for them? It's not a real, we care about black people and black America thing. It's just a, hey, I know how I can get a viral moment. And that's not enough. And I'm sad to see that happen. And then you can go ahead and talk. I'm gonna look up this other clip real quick. Go ahead.
And the thing that's very frustrating for me, when they say things like this, you know what you're telling black people? Black people, populists as a whole, are stupid. The black people that are involved and the black people that, or other people that actually push Joe Biden and demand things and shit like that. Ignore those people. Go to the very ignorant, lowest denominator people. Like, go to those people. That's what you're really saying. And it's disrespectful to Black people as whole, because we're all not dummies and we're all not stupid. And there's a difference, in my opinion, between entertainment, which I consider the Breakfast Club and Club Shay Shay. They fucking entertainment. I do not take them seriously. I do not go there for political views. I do not go there for my news. I do not go there to be informed. I don't. And so it's one of these things where, and a lot of people actually consume them for entertainment. That's it. That's it. You consume from entertainment. So why would you tell me that I, as somebody who's actually really serious about what the fuck I'm doing, go to somebody like that who's going to make a shit show and not take the bullshit I'm saying seriously and ask me half-ass, uninformed questions? Like, you're wasting everyone's time.
And like I said, this isn't something they employ for anybody but us.
Right.
Like, there's not an equivalent to this. You know, when they want to reach out to like LGBTQ people, they're not going on like Watch What Happens Live. They're not doing that. They're not going on Drag Race.
Right.
Like, what, like, for us, it's there's something there. It fucks with me. It's fucking with Black people. It's something that fucks with me. And especially in 2024, we've known better for years now. With this, like, this thing of the entertainers will speak to us. These motherfuckers don't do shit. And I shouldn't say that. I don't know what these motherfuckers do in the community that should make me feel like they are doing enough to represent us politically, to where they're the tastemakers and movers and shakers of the Black vote. And a lot of these motherfuckers position themselves as the Black person whisperer. Where's the proof? Where is the fucking evidence that the Black vote goes as Charlemagne goes, or the Black vote goes as, you know, as Angela Rye goes, or anybody else? So here's the other clip. And this is another, like I said, kind of part of this. They went on the Breakfast Club to promote their new podcast. Now, keep in mind, the new podcast is under Charlemagne's imprint, so they're beholden to Charlemagne. And this happens a lot with people that supposedly have integrity. You sign on with somebody that don't because you wanted that spotlight, and now you're compromising your integrity and you look foolish. To me, that's what happens. And so Tiffany Cross, who a lot of people held in high esteem, but since she got let go of MSNBC, I believe, you know, part of the issue there was like another Black woman in charge, like kind of got her out the paint. But so now people are like, she's bitter and she's, you know, angry about the media and stuff, and angry at Democrats and the left. And so she's saying shit that, you know, is just about her anger. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if she would cop to that or not. This is what happened on the Breakfast Club, though.
What would you say to people who will probably look at y'all and say, well, this is just going to be another Democratic echo chamber?
I don't know why. I mean, I vote Democrat most of the time, but I am not a talking head for the party at all. I think they make horrific decisions. I think they summarily dismiss our community the same way a lot of the cable news industry does. I think they fail us at every point. I think this is part of another narrative that some Black folks have taken in and believe. And that is, and a lot of white folks believe it, that Black people are so loyal to the Democratic Party. That is not true. Black folks are loyal to ourselves, and the world benefits from it. Society benefits from what we do. I understand the person's perspective who says, you know, you want me to participate in this system that has incarcerated my brother, poisoned my mother, keeps my kids in a dilapidated school, and you're telling me by my participation in this system, I'm going to somehow fix it, when for decades my life has not changed. I understand that perspective. When we vote, we are not American enthusiasts trying to uphold the white man's democracy. We are voting in favor of harm reduction. That has nothing to do with loyalty to a party. We are loyal to our people. And by our people, I mean us as Black folks, but also the rising.
So once again,
what would you say to people who will probably look at y'all and
I don't have a problem with that idea, that message. Like, if that's what you want to say, I think she kind of played herself, because that's what that is exactly what Charlamagne's going to do on this show. That is exactly what he's going to ask you. That's the position he's going to put you in, is like, kind of like, can you play the hits? Can you shit on the Democrats for me? We're not talking about Republicans right now. We're not bringing up anything. Just can you say the Democrats ain't shit? And what happens though is she goes on Twitter where she's this guy, Too Raw, Too Real. You probably know his videos. He's the guy that always got the receipts for Biden administration, Democrats and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, and she's talking, of course, in generalizations and platitudes and stuff that I think can't really be backed up when you say like, well, Democrats always fail us and let us down. It's like, yeah, I think if you, the math ain't mathing. Right. There's a lot of shit that Democrats, the only things that have ever been done for Black people in America have come from the left party at the time.
Whatever the left party is.
Yeah.
Right.
Like your argument might be like, it's not enough. That's fine.
Correct.
That's a great point if that's what you want. But this like, they're kind of like both the same because neither one does anything, and I'm gonna shit on them just the same way.
That's not a true statement.
Black people we don't feel like that, and I do agree that we're not necessarily Democratic Party loyalists in the way that like white people are such patriots to this country, and they like really we're definitely looking out for our own self-interest, and it happens to help other people. So like I have no problem with that. Mm-mm. But when she's questioned about it by this dude, she goes on Twitter and goes, "Oh no, I wasn't talking about the Democrats. I was talking about the media."
But that's not what you said.
I just listened to you say the Democratic Party.
Right.
You said that. And you're just starting your new podcast. I know it's under Charlamagne, but all it makes me believe is, oh, you'll just say whatever you need to say at the moment. And then when you're on the hot seat, but then when you with another audience, it's like, I'll say something different. So now I'm on Twitter and it's like, no, I would never say so. I would not mean something like that. It's like, well, what the fuck else could it mean? You know what I mean? So like, it was, I don't know. I'm just fine. And I feel like it's 2024. How are we still playing like this?
Yeah, that's because a lot of people didn't learn. A lot of people don't take it seriously. A lot of people still don't really realize how important it is. And I will always say this and feel like this. You have a percentage of the population that live in all parts of the country, and some of them feel like where they're at is quote unquote blue, and this shit will never impact them. They still feel like that with Trump and all the fucked up laws he passed and all this shit. You still have a percentage of the populace, even Black people, that still feel like this shit will not impact them.
And I'm not a like go on Twitter and make YouTube make videos and argue with people about Democrats and all that stuff. I'm not one of these people, but I know my shit. And honestly, I have more respect, even though I think it might end up being like it's a little unsavory to me because it just, at some point, shit just becomes influencing and becomes content. Right. So there's certain accounts like Too Raw, Too Real and some others that just spend a lot of time going on social media to be like, this is what the Democrats did for Black people. This is what the Democrats did. But honestly, thank God for them, because at least they have some fucking level of integrity of like, I'm going to keep my receipts and facts, and I'm not just going to pander, because I think a lot of people think it makes them look cool to be like, hey, laissez-faire. I don't really give a fuck. I mean, shit, they all the same to me. They ain't shit. They ain't shit. And it's like, well, let me go check your voting registration and let me go check your voting history. Oh, you only always voted for Democrats.
Right.
Let's keep it real. We both know that that's the party that gives Black people the best chance in America, period.
All right.
So this whole like thing where we gotta like bitch and moan to like, I don't know who we're trying to impress with that shit, but I'm pretty pragmatic. Am I voting? Yes. Am I voting for a Democrat? Yeah. The Republicans have never given me any reason to vote for them. That doesn't make sense. And to be in 2024 where Trump's back on the ballot and those are the games people want to play, is fucking crazy to me. There is a video. Oh, sorry. My bad. I didn't mean to turn my camera off. Okay. There's a video that someone put up on Twitter, Candidly Tev. It's like 2 minutes long of just shit that Biden administration did for Black people. It's not hard to find.
There's been a lot of conversation over the last couple of days about what the Biden-Harris administration has done for the Black community. The narrative that's being put out there to me is negative because it doesn't tell the true story about what they have actually done. It doesn't mean that there isn't a need for them to do more, but we need to give props and credit where credit is due because the Biden Harris administration has done a lot. So let's go through some receipts. Did you know that in 2023, we saw the lowest average Black unemployment rate of any year on record?
No, I didn't.
Did you know that in April of 2023, the Biden-Harris administration achieved the lowest Black unemployment rate ever on record, which was 4.7%? There's also been an increase in Black enrollment into the ACA, aka Obamacare.
For the record, you can go find all this stuff on their website. You can just Google what they've done for Black Americans and it'll go to their page on their website because they're aware that people need to know this stuff. And for all the people that say like the messaging is bad, how come I don't know this? Literally, those people on those platforms could be Googling and telling their audience this is what they've done, but they choose to be, for some reason, they feel better to be like, I'm uninformed and it's good to be. I mean, listen, it's their fault I'm uninformed. What are they supposed to do? Because like going on Charlamagne's show, you don't get asked about this moment won't go viral. The moment it goes viral is, did you listen to Tupac and smoke weed? That is not a platform for the people. I'm sorry.
Of 49% from 2020 to 2022. Did you know that under the Biden-Harris administration, they have seen the fastest creation of Black-owned small businesses in over 25 years? Did you know that the Biden-Harris administration worked to reverse decades of infrastructure divestment in communities of color and invested $4 billion to reconnect communities to economic opportunities? I'm sure you didn't. Did you know that last year, the Vice President, Kamala Harris, rolled out a new plan to prevent racial bias in home appraisals, which was impacting Black homeowners, and they were being lowballed for their homes' value? Did you know that because of the Biden-Harris administration, medical bills will no longer show on your credit report?
Good.
As we know, 56% of adults owe money on medical bills and dental bills compared to 37% of whites. Did you know there was a small Black business boom thanks to the Biden-Harris administration? I'm sure nobody ever told you that. Black wealth is up a record 60% from the pandemic, and Black households owning a business has doubled from 2019 to 2022. Did you know that the Biden-Harris administration have put 50 Black judges on the courts, the most of any administration ever? The point is that there are receipts upon receipts, and this is not even half the receipts that we could talk about.
Yeah, so like I said, that it's not hard to find this shit.
Right.
There's a willful level of ignorance, and it's honestly like, I thought higher, and it's probably my fault for thinking higher of folks, but I thought higher of folks. And then you see them sign on with like Charlamagne and then immediately go to the like basement with the bullshit. It's like, I thought you had some integrity. I thought you was about something. I thought you be on there informing this motherfucker, not on there going, hey, you're crazy to me too. Make sure y'all check out the show. Like, come on, man. And then to know you had to go on Twitter and walk that shit back. Like, you're walking it back because you shouldn't have said it. And what was the point of going on there in the moment and for whatever reason, pleasing him to then have to turn around and be like, oh shit, my bad, y'all. Y'all know, I don't really believe what I said. I was talking about the media. Well, we're sorry you got laid off. That was fucked up.
It was.
Nobody's on MSNBC side for that shit or MSNBC side or whatever. But the fact that you got to go out and do damage control says a lot. And your show hadn't even started yet. Your podcast ain't even started yet. I won't be listening to this shit now. Fuck that. Like, we got enough bad acting ops in the fucking game. Like, if we not calling them out, I don't see the point. Anyway. That weird to try to do funny banter after that. I see. Maybe I should say these for another time.
But I feel you though, because it is one of those things where it's very frustrating, it's very irritating, particularly when you're looking and you're going, well, we're getting in this season where it's going to be voting time again, and we get ready to go through a lot of the same things we went through before. And it's making me really guess for lessons learned, that people pay attention. You know, people have the attention spans of gerbils now. They don't remember anything. And I don't know if it's because of my age or what, but I remember shit. And so I'm like, no, bitch, we not going through this again. And everybody, you know, and people like that go, why you bringing the bullshit? Bitch, because it counts and it matters.
Yeah, man, it's sad to see these niggas fucking around, dog. Like,
Right.
I saw Don Lemon he's got a show he's gonna put on X, or you know, X, Twitter, whatever, and he put out some like, finally free speech, and I'm like, nigga, what are you talking about? Elon Musk and all his right wing bullshit. You wanted to get a check, you got your check, fine. Don't be telling me that this shit is about some freedom of speech. That's not what he even practiced. One, he censors a lot of motherfuckers. Say something bad about him. See how your freedom of speech goes. Your fucking account will be deleted, and you won't know why. You know, so that's bullshit. Like, these niggas are just it's annoying as fuck, and I think it's dangerous.
Yes, it is.
We're starting out 2024, and it's fucking dangerous to pal around with this bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody need to get, like, you're talking about Democrats' message. Nigga, you get on message. The fuck? You know better. I know you know better. So don't hit me with the, like, you know, it's just the Democrats not telling. No, you know, and you can look it up, and you have a brain, and you relay information all the time. You got a crack fucking staff that comes to make sure that you're on fucking point. You know better. If I know better, I know you know better. So then who are you messaging? Who is this really for? Who is the content for that you don't know better, that you got to pretend to be dumb? Who's that for, really? Because that's what the question comes down to. I watched You Know Better on MSNBC for years. Joy Reid and Jason Johnson, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Go talk to Charlamagne. For what, nigga? Come talk to me. Come talk to Joy Reid. I got some questions that I have been researching. You know, that kind of shit. So, yeah, I don't like that shit.
No, I don't like it at all. And it's also one of these things. And I hope that, and maybe this is a pattern that I see, that I'm going to call it out now. I hope the closer we get to the election, that these black men don't come out with their coalitions talking about holding their votes and bullshit like that. Mm-hmm. Like the past few elections around.
First of all, they will.
Yes.
Ain't no hope they won't. If Joy Reid, Angela Rye, and Tiffany Cross are fucking around, oh yeah, Ice Cube coming back. Yeah, Charlamagne's gonna be bigger and bigger.
That shit is.
Joy Reid is platforming Charlamagne to be like, what should the black? Yeah, it's coming. All of it's coming.
And it's fucking frustrating because it was like, we're not stupid, and you're stupid if you fall for that message. I'm calling you dumb to your face right now. If you listen to my voice and you fall for that message, you're stupid. Because it's one of those things where we go through this over and over again, and just like the Green Party, these niggas disappear until the next fucking 4 years.
The thing I realized too is we cannot be envious of the Republicans like fighting together, and then at the same time be like, well, I'm different. Like, the thing about honesty and nuance and facts is that they pretty much are not sexy. Republicans will fight on a lie.
Yes, they'll
be like, the real problem is black people should not get into this school because none of them are qualified.
Yep.
And it just becomes true because they decide that it's true.
Yep.
Meanwhile, with us, we're ready to go home on any given fucking day that something don't go right.
Child,
you know, hey, you didn't say that sentence the right way, so I'm gonna just go ahead and not vote. You know, hey, what about my personal issue? I think I'm just out. You know. Mm-hmm. All right. Anyway, I'll try to move into some other stuff.
No problem.
You know what superhero will be hell on Etsy? Batman. That dude is meticulous with the arts and crafts. Okay.
He'll be a goddamn beast.
He can't just have a grenade. Nah, it's gotta be shaped like a bat. He can't just have a motorcycle. Gotta be a bat cycle. You know, who knows how many people died because he was like, not yet. I gotta get the fender right. It don't look batty enough.
He would be a goddamn beast on Etsy. Anybody that's doing anything with bats, y'all seeing it says Bruce Wayne, Thomas Wayne's son, Thomas and Martha Wayne's son. go ahead and get out, cause that shit gonna be flames.
I just don't know how he has the time. Like his whole thing is I'm always fighting and stopping injustice at all times. I don't date, I don't sleep, and I'm like, oh, it's because you in the lab like soldering the next bat signal to the fucking thing. You can't you can't just wear a belt.
It can't be your belt gotta have gadgets, my nigga.
You could have just went out with regular clothes and fought crime, but he was like, nah. Man, this shit ain't pimping enough. I got an impression that I've been working on. I don't know how good it is, but because it's my first time trying it. But this is my impression of Kevin Hart watching sports. Okay, this is my impression. Hold on. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I need you to say hello. You gotta answer the phone, okay?
Okay.
All right, so here we go.
Hello?
What am I looking at right now? I'm looking at the game, and why am I watching ads without me in them? You think I can't sell tampons? I can sell tampons. I'm Kevin Hart. The fuck are you even doing right now? I just saw 2 ads come on in the middle of these 5 ads. I was only in 3. That's it. You fired.
But Kevin,
I need to be in everything.
We gonna try our best. I promise.
I'm looking at this game on Peacock. I'm only in 80% of the ads. What the fuck? We get to work. Also watching that game, it was so cold last night, and I did watch the game on Peacock because I'm not a broke boy. I have the Peacock money, and so I'm watching the game on Peacock, flexing on these niggas, and they're playing, and it's so cold. The literal field has ice on it. Andy Reid's mustache has ice in it.
Icicles. That shit had icicles.
I'm like, is the Gatorade in a tea kettle? Like, what's happening? There's no need for all this.
It's so cold. Patrick Mahomes' helmet cracked.
I would have called in sick. I would have been. I'm stuck in the snow.
I bet you Miami was like, God damn it, we should have won that extra game.
Yeah, I blame Miami for not being good enough so y'all could play in 70 degrees.
Right.
But there was this thing at the beginning of the game. They do this all the time when it's cold, where they're like, so-and-so's going without sleeves to prove how tough he is and to show everybody he's tough. I would be out there in a motherfucking triple fat goose with mittens. They'd be like, how you gonna catch the ball? Bruh, I'm not worried about catching the ball. Worried about catching cold, catching the flu. Like, I'm just out here so I can get my check. This ain't like, I'll be out there motherfucking 4 layers and shit. No sleeves. For who? For what? I bet when that ball hits you, it hurts so bad.
Yes, because if I didn't realize that the weather affected the ball because they was kicking the ball. The ball was just tumbling. I was like, oh, so we're not gonna get the. They was like, no. They was like, the ball ain't going nowhere. They was like, this shit is hard as a rock. I was like, oh, okay.
Why can't, when they weren't able to kick the ball off, because they would kick it, but the ball would just dribble down the field and shit. Why don't they just make a rule like, okay, guys, for this game, we just gonna have the quarterbacks come in and throw the ball down there.
Whoever thought to find this,
just throw it down there. Fuck it, throw it and then run off the field. We won't penalize nobody today.
Wherever it lands, that's where you get the ball at.
It's too fucking cold for this bullshit. All right.
Yeah, one of the games was so cold. It was like, y'all play on MLK Day.
Yeah, they had to move a game. And shout out to the NFL. They took Christmas from the NBA. Now y'all taking MLK Day from the NBA. Y'all niggas diabolical.
That is their day. Yes.
Let them have something.
I don't think the Hornets got a game, but we just have a tradition. We would go to the Hornets game on MLK Day.
Yeah, we played a day at 6 against the Heat. But yeah, shout out to LaMelo being back. We love to see it.
We love to see it.
I have deep Hornets thoughts, but I won't bore y'all with those. I'll save that for Ball Sports or something.
Okay.
But I've been thinking about it. We definitely better not trade Terry. If we do, we better get something great.
Ain't that the truth?
All right, let's get into some other stuff for the show. Let me play some music so we can get paid. I'm Kevin Hart, and I listen to the Black Guy Who Tips. That's right, I'm in this commercial too.
Yes! I'm Kevin Hart. I'm getting all of the money. I want to be in 100 city commercials all of the time. I'm here for it, Kevin. Be in all the commercials.
Check out the next segment. I'm in it.
Yes!
All right, that's DJ Jaffa. Please, is the name of that one. So this went viral. This is really what everybody wants to hear us talk about. They didn't care about none of that other shit, and I don't blame y'all.
What?
Yasin Bey, formerly known as Mos Def, did an interview with this fashion podcast, The Cutting Room Floor. He was asked if he considered Drake to be hip hop, and the answer went viral. I'll share the answer with you guys, and then we'll have a lengthy discussion about Mos Def and Drake, I'm sure.
Is Drake hip hop?
Why are you doing this to me?
Drake is pop to me, in the sense like if I was in Target in Houston and I heard a Drake song, it feels like a lot of his music is compatible with shopping.
Commercial music.
Or as you
Commercial
know,
music, yeah.
shopping with an edge in certain instances.
Fair. I like Drake's music, but I understand exactly what you're saying.
Of course, I mean,
It's
I get
commercial, entertaining, fun,
it.
good,
It's
formulaic music.
it's likable.
Likable music, yeah.
Likable.
But is it? I'm gonna leave you alone. We're gonna move on.
Woo! So many products.
So many SKUs.
So many SKUs. Look at all these SKUs. Oh, so many products.
So much merchandising. So
Oh,
many
I love this.
barcodes.
I love this mall. Look at this place. I mean, look at this place. They have everything. Everything's here. They have everything here. Oh, it's great. It's the new Drake. You hear it? It's great. Okay. What happens when this thing collapses? What happens when the columns start buckling? Are we not in some early stage of that at this present hour? Are we seeing like the collapse of the empire? Buying and selling, where's the message that I can use?
Right.
You know, what's in it for your audience apart from like banging the pom-poms?
So that went super viral because I think mostly for two reasons. One, it went super viral in the places that I look because all my friends are a certain age and they don't like Drake.
Right.
They don't listen to Drake for real and they don't like him. And so anybody saying anything negative about him is valid no matter who it's coming from, what it's about, right? And then two, Drake's fans, who at this point, I'm a little surprised.
They're adults.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised because they should be old enough now. Like when Drake first came out and he had some fans that I thought were pretty sensitive about his place in hip hop.
Because they were younger.
Yeah, I chalked it up to like, oh, y'all young. You know what I mean? But the guy's been on the top of hip hop for, I don't know, he's the old guy at the club now. It's a decade at least.
Yeah, about 10, 15 years, somewhere around in there. He's
Yeah,
been there for a
he's-
hot minute.
He's been on the top for a minute. He's breaking Michael Jackson's sales records. Now they're streaming, and there's no way to really, you know what I'm saying. But the point being, like in the way that records are quantified, the motherfucker's the number one artist in hip hop for sure. If not, you know, I'm sure globally one of the number one artists. The greed of being number one and thinking you are owed all the respect from all the artists and all the fans is delusional. Now, Drake will probably hear this and say something mean about Mos Def at some point, and I don't blame him. That's his response to every criticism, whether it's valid or not. And it's probably too much to expect somebody like Drake to take this as valid criticism and be like, yeah, I should write things of more substance. Like he's not, I don't think he's capable of it, number one. And two, a lot of his fans have a very low bar, so they just say that it's of substance when it's not, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't go to Drake for substance.
No, I don't either. But
Yeah.
but there are some Drake albums that and some of his songs that I like my bops. Like
Yeah.
they my jams.
Yeah. So I don't go to him for substance, and he could do it. I'm sure he's capable of, if he really wanted to write about something other than how sad he is that bitches won't let him be misogynistic to these bitches. Like if he wanted to write about something like what it's really like raising his kid, or what it was like growing up in Canada and being outside of the hip hop culture, but then using hip hop to kind of ingratiate yourself into their culture, you know, he could write those things, but he doesn't, and I doubt he will. You know, he's been writing music so long, and I still don't know who he is. I don't know him. And as a fan of Jay-Z's, probably, if not my favorite rapper, definitely one of my favorite rappers. And I've been a fan of his a long time. I was a fan of his when he was basically running the charts and shit. And people take shots at you when you're on top. That's what hip hop is. That's what rap is. And there were people that did say shit about Jay-Z, but he outlasted so many people and did so much that eventually those people faded away. Yes, but there was a time when people were questioning if he was hip hop, if his music was too club and too pop. But his bona fides and his skill kind of won that out. It won the day. And I'm not even saying everyone agreed with those criticisms. It was just, some old school niggas would shit on him, a bunch of stuff, right? So the fans' insecurity stuck out to me because they're in the mentions of anybody who's like, yo, I agree with Mos Def being like, oh, what? So what you trying to say? He don't talk about nothing? It's like, he's pop? Well, I mean, he put out pop rap. Like a good, I mean, I don't know what the percentage is, but I mean, you don't sell that many records without being pop. You just don't.
All right.
I love Jay-Z, but nigga has some pop songs too. Like,
yes, he did.
They're not playing the hardcore murder shit in the club. They're playing that. It's the things that you do that make me feel. You're like,
that's what they're playing on the radio.
And I was just like, that's what my man had to do. Also, like, if you're gonna talk shit. If I was a Drake fan of that ilk, I'd be like, fuck Mos Def. He ain't nobody. He wish he had the sales of Drake. Like, I get the way they need to play it because we have stan culture now. There's no such thing as, I like Drake, but right. He's kind of not real hip hop. And
my thing, he never said there was anything wrong with pop. He just said it was pop. And
it's implied that there's something wrong with it.
Okay. So it's implied it's quote unquote not real rap.
There's a reason he's laughing and saying it's not hip hop and why you doing this to me and shit like that. So like he is implying that Drake is not hip hop.
Okay, I'm with you.
The first question, it may have been blanked out a little bit, but her first question was, is Drake hip hop? And he's like, he's pop, meaning he's not hip hop.
Okay, I didn't hear that part.
Now, that being said, to be fair, Mos is being a little bit of a hater. I think it's ridiculous to say Drake is not hip hop. This is one of those technicality things, right? And it's not ridiculous for Mos to say it, but if you walked around the world with the understanding that Drake is a pop act and not a hip hop act, most people will look at you like you're fucking crazy. It's the reason this went viral is because most people actually do. Even the haters go, well, no, he's a rapper, he's a hip hop act, but I don't like him.
Right.
Most introduced something new to the conversation, which is he's not real hip hop. And that makes sense. That jives for Mos Def, for Yasin Bey. He believe in that. He been rapping his whole life, or his whole rap life, his whole career is about real hip hop versus this pop shit. And if I don't like the shit, that don't necessarily mean that I'm hating. Y'all shit just could be whack. And he's a real MC, and he's one of those guys. Talib Kweli is like this. I remember buying that shit from Raucous Records before they were Black Star, any of that shit. They are some of those backpack, we the real authentic hip hop. And at the time they didn't really fuck with the popular rappers. It wasn't until really I'd say Kanye was when I saw them kind of lighten up, because Kanye kind of was their homie and came up under them. And so they weren't shitting on Kanye when Kanye was doing fucking God numbers. They weren't doing that real hip hop shit. They were being featured on tracks and stuff. And, you know, that could be some personal favoritism and bias. But the point being, with their contemporaries, they don't really call out Jay-Z like that anymore. Right. But at the time, they would have shady bars about all the popular rappers. They used to do that. This is not out of line for him. He didn't get old and start hating. He been like this from day one with Mos Def. He's been like, this shit that sells a lot of albums isn't real to me.
Right. And also, he can feel like that, but it's one of those things where rap morphs and change, and it always has and it always will. It will morph into something completely different. And it's very frustrating as somebody who loves rap when niggas don't allow the genre to morph into something new. And speaking about Kanye, with Kanye, that shit morphed into something new. All of a sudden, rappers were rapping about shit that other rappers would be like, that's too soft. Why you rap about your feelings? Well, you know, and the thing is, the foundation of a lot of what they rapped about, bitches and hoes, that should stay the same. But, you know, they just took it to a quote unquote a different level or another level to a whole different generation of people. And like you say, Kanye wasn't rapping about the shit that they was rapping about, but they wouldn't look Kanye in his face and tell him he wasn't a rapper.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, like, all these niggas were like that. Like Common, Talib, all the Rockets Records niggas, the fucking Lyricist Lounge niggas. I loved those albums when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. All of them would rap about how, like, and some of it I really truly believe is because they weren't capable of doing it, but they would never admit that. But they would be like, these motherfuckers that make this club music and all this shit, they the real sellouts of the industry. I'm the only one keeping it real, rapping to a bunch of musty ass niggas with backpacks that sell incense outside my shows. I'm the real hip hop. These niggas are fake hip hop with their shiny suits and all this shit. But the truth of the matter is, hip hop has always been both things.
Yes.
It's always been both things. It's been the niggas that sell out the shows, and it's been Hammer Pants. And I'm not saying Hammer's not a real authentic person, but just the way they treated him was, you're a pariah. That's why Hammer didn't show up to the commemorating 50 years of hip hop thing. He said, how can I? These niggas don't fuck with me and I don't fuck with them. Yeah. Because when I was popping, they was shitting on me.
They were.
And they didn't even know me. They didn't know that I'm real connected like that. They were acting like I was some pop soft act. So no, I'm not going to shake hands and act like, hey man, we both lasted so long that it's cool. Like, there's always been a cause for the super successful hip hop act, period. Mm-hmm. And there's a bunch of people saying you're not really hip hop, and it's because of your fan base. It's because white people have to like that shit for it to sell that much, and it's because of jealousy and envy too, and also because these motherfuckers literally can't both do that. Like Jay-Z had that line where he's like, you know, if I truthfully, I want to rhyme like Common Sense, but I sold 5 mil, I ain't been rhyming like Common Sense, right? People used to shit on Jay for that, and I was like, yeah, but if we're being frank, both of them can't do what each other do.
Yeah,
if Jay can't really, like, I'm not saying he's not a lyricist or anything, but like Jay's not capable of making a very serious fucking somber album at that time. It took him 50 years. Took him being 50 years old or whatever, how old, to be like, okay, 444, I'm gonna give y'all some real me. No, like, just, this is my life.
Right.
This is something serious that happened, right? Common and Nas and so many of these niggas tried their hands at these pop hits. They tried making club songs. I know, because I listened to them and we all saw, like, yeah, this ain't it. Or like, they would get a little truck playing the club, but they couldn't keep it up. You get that one single, or like oh no, you know, I remember that song, and it's like, yeah, that's a cool little hit, but you can't
follow up.
You can't do what Jay did and have 3 of those an album for 6 summers.
Right.
It's just hard. It's hard, and niggas are different. I hate to see, you know, the girls fighting or whatever, but you know, this is what niggas do. Like, man, as Nicole says, Nick Jew, you know, men's business. You know, this is the men's business is gossipy and shady, and this was gossipy and shady for most to do this, but I don't find it to be like, I think the confirmation bias of already hating Drake is what people are saying. And I'm not going back and forth with my friends over this because they don't listen to Drake.
You're right.
They don't.
So you're not the demographic.
Yeah,
so
I don't mean to be an asshole, but they literally don't know what they're talking about.
Right. It's like, yeah, I can't even talk to you because you don't even consume it.
Yeah, you just see like the videos he put out and shit. And I'm not saying that's not valid enough. I think he is, by his nature, Drake has to be a bit of a culture vulture.
Yes.
Drake to me is like hopefully people don't get offended at the comparison, but fuck it. Drake to me is like those K-pop groups. Like BTS. They just be
everywhere. Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because we know you didn't grow up like that. You're from Canada and you're a child actor. You didn't grow up threatening to shoot people and living that type of life that you rap about. You didn't. This is as much as a character as, Wheelchair Jimmy to you. Like, and you've been playing this character for a long time, and maybe now it's blended with enough life that some of it is real for him. But to me, you just a character. Like you put on the costume, and now it's getting so ridiculous because you've been doing it so long. We're watching you grow a perm and get your hair done a certain way, put on fake, put on like fake gold teeth and shit. We're watching you, hop on every wave. The reggaeton wave is going to be popular. Okay, now this is going to be popular. Mm-hmm. We're watching you befriend the rappers who people like and feel are more authentic than you. We're watching you kind of befriend them early so that they can't like truly take over from you and that, so that we won't have the J. Cole versus Drake debate. You're now making songs with J. Cole. So now we're like, oh, they cool, so we cool. And they must be on the same level, when I think a lot of people, if you set them down, would be like, J. Cole is a better rapper than Drake. Kendrick is a better rapper than Drake. Doesn't matter if they do a song together. One of these motherfuckers we feel like got the full package of like rapidy rap ass rap. And one of these motherfuckers we think is just kind of coasting, I think it's the reason that he'll work with the dudes, but he doesn't really work with the women that much. But if he does, he still comes out and talks a lot of shit about women, but it's a lot of shock value shit. It's very low substance shit. It doesn't really mean much. It's like a comedian. I said this about his last album. It's like a comedian who turns 50 and gives up being funny and just goes, as long as I pissed everybody off, then at least they talked about me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where Drake is, and his little like incel ass fans at this point who are just there for the misogyny and the stan woke culture. Like,
of course.
They corny for that shit, but I really I don't know that they're ever gonna change or grow up, because like these niggas aren't 18 anymore. Grown up dudes are telling us that this is substance to them. And so when Mos is calling it walking around a Target basically, and just it's about sales, SKUs and all that shit, I interpreted that as that's what Drake is. He's a guy that's about, hey, I got the Michael Jackson sales record. And you're like, yeah, but did your music resonate with anybody? You're not Michael Jackson to us.
Right.
And I'm not just saying that as an old nigga. I mean, to everybody in the world, you can have all the stats. You're not him.
Yes.
Mike can't even walk down the fucking street. People pass out at his fucking concerts, and when the motherfucker would just come on stage and before he did a move.
Right. He's standing there copying 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm just watching, like, I remember watching that motherfucking HBO concert in, like, I forget where, like Belgium or some shit. White women was passing out and the nigga hadn't moved yet. He popped on stage, stood perfectly still for like 2 minutes, and they were carting white women out who were just like, make it!
Yeah, and they were down for the count.
Like you're not that guy.
No,
you know what I mean?
Not. You're not that guy. Michael Jackson one time shut down a goddamn airport. He went to the airport. They found out he was there. That bitch shut down.
Yeah, so and maybe that's the frustrating part for him, is hearing people go like Mos Def and much of the internet go, yeah, but you're still not that guy to us. Maybe that's why he's so angry and bitter. Right. It's like, but I got all the achievements, I got all the numbers, I got I'm working with all the right people, and we're like, yeah, that's cool, bro, but we don't really respect your work in that way. We still don't know who you are,
Right.
you know, and I think that's a big part of that. But I'm far from a Drake hater.
Right.
I know a lot of people that are Drake haters, and I just don't talk to them about music for the most part, because like you know, I feel like, and there's nothing wrong with this, but some of my folks, they just decided I'm gonna be old.
Yes.
And so they just are digging into like everything that happened after 1996 is bullshit. And it's like, cool. I just don't want to be like that.
Me
I do
either.
listen to the new shit.
Right.
I do like the new albums. I do want to keep up with who's putting shit out.
Yeah.
I love when I'm introduced to a song and I'm like, yo, that song is fucking dope.
Yes. And I have been introduced to a lot of people through you, like Jid. He is one of my favorite rappers right now. Like, I really dig that young man. And you know, and there's other people out there too where you go, oh, and like, not just, I know Kendrick's been around for a while, but one period of time it was Kendrick. You know, you hear Kendrick like, oh, I've never heard anything like this. And you know, I don't want to miss out on good music because I'm still trapped in the time frame where I had unlimited time, and be like, well, I ain't got limited time, fuck it, and it must be bullshit.
Yeah, and so like, you know, I think I get that people have their faves and their least faves and shit,
Right.
you know, but to me, I keep up with the new shit, and Drake is part of the new shit, and he's the guy that's on top of the game right now. And so I definitely want to keep up with him, just because I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? But at the end of the day, my man ain't talking about much. You know, he doesn't really talk about much, and you know, I guess it's finally grinded on enough people that folks are like, fuck him.
Come on.
But Mos Def, the thing that I think people are missing is that Mos Def would have said this shit about anybody that's doing Drake numbers. It don't matter.
Yeah, like that, like that's what they do.
He would have said this. It's a certain type of nigga he never liked. If it was 1996, he didn't like this nigga. It just, he ain't for this. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of the backpack niggas are like that, but that doesn't mean what he said has no substance to it. You know, it's that I played some songs before the show started, and one of the first songs I played from Mos Def was Hater Players, I think is the name of it. And it's a song about how motherfuckers will call you a hater so they can dismiss your valid opinion. Because if you can just say everything is hating, then all of a sudden no criticism is ever valid.
Hey.
And I think with this, you know, the dismissive thing is to just be like, oh, he's just hating. But I think there's a valid critique in there about the lack of substance in Drake's music. And it's still like he said, I feel like it is just mass production, commercialization shit. And I don't know if it's as bad as the columns of the empire crumbling of hip hop. I don't know if that's true or not. Could be, but I don't know. To be frank, like, I feel like you don't know that shit till it's too late. You look around, you be like, oh damn, hip hop's over. I'm sure this happened with, you know, people that love jazz or whatever. And like one day you just like, oh, jazz is not the number one music in the world no more. Like, everybody's moved on.
Yeah, it still exists, but
yeah, but the last titpole jazz album happened already, but you didn't know it when it happened. You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
So maybe that will be hip hop, and maybe Drake is, you know, fiddling as Rome burns. But I don't know that we'll know that for a while. You know, like put it this way: I listen to Drake, I listen to Kendrick. I love Kendrick, you know, but like, what does JL Cobain listen to? Probably just Drake. You see what I'm saying? Like, like what are the like? They'll listen to some Kendrick, but it's not. They don't love the Kendrick. The Drake is easily accessible,
easy to digest.
Is readily. It's just like it's the elevator music of rap at this point. In that it's ubiquitous. Yeah. And so I think that's the point that is being made here. in that's not real hip hop to a certain demographic of niggas. To me, I don't really play in those distinctions, but I understand what Mos is saying, and that the reason it's resonating is because there's some truth to it. It's not just all hate, because if he would have just said Drake is whack, we could just dismiss it as like, oh, he's hating. The end. No need to talk about this anymore. But coming out there and saying some shit like this, that's the reason his fans is mad, because they like, yeah, because when he said, what was it? What's in it for your fans? Or something like that. I said, yes, that's right. What do you get out of that? What do you get out of a Drake album as a fan?
They get something out of it.
I know you get entertainment, but what do you get out of it? What's his larger message about anything? What of consequence does he talk about? Even on a personal level, you could be like, well, personally, the personal is universal, right? So like Kendrick tells a personal story of growing up with like a trans member of his family and stuff, in a gay, like, it's very personal. It's somewhat crass. It's unrefined, but there's a message in it that is beautiful, and then becomes universal because we all have some level of ability to relate to it.
Right.
What has Drake ever done like that? Ever? He just don't. Like everything, it's like Drake is like, his music is like people's Instagram to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like someone's Instagram. Like I just know that you was at a party, or you went on vacation, or you ate a nice meal. I don't know you though. You know what I mean? I know you were on a yacht, and I know you on the beach. Here's a picture of your feet. Cool. I don't know anything about you.
Nope.
And that's kind of Drake to me. So I didn't find it to be so like him. I didn't find Mos to be that out of line. But yeah, anyway, let's move on. We've been talking for an hour, 15 minutes. Let's do something a little fun for the peoples.
Okay.
Cause I think I talked about everything I felt like talking about. Is there anything else? I'm looking at these. Oh, well, shit. There was one more thing.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. It can wait till tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Keith Lee said he not going. He ended his Bay Area food tour over safety concerns, and we'll talk about that tomorrow a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, but let's move into some guess the race so we can end on something fun. Let me get the guess the race music. Boom. This time for guess the race. 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 All right, guess the race time. You know what it is. We go around the globe, find different articles, guess the race of the people involved, and Karen plays and the chat room plays, and they're all pretty much racist. All right. A man tried to steal a Waffle House tattoo, police allege. 33-year-old Floridian Max Alexander Krejkant. He was arrested Saturday after he allegedly refused to pay $250 for a tattoo that he received from Ink God's shop in St. Petersburg. So he tried to steal the tattoo by having them do the work, and then when it's time to pay, he tried to leave.
Oh, you can't do that.
He was reportedly under the influence when he got the Waffle House logo tatted on his right calf.
Oh,
that is a very Waffle House decision.
Ain't it though? On the calf.
Did it also happen at 3 a.m?
That's what I want to know.
Like the only way to order Waffle House. While the restaurant's change emblem is yellow and black, his tattoo about 5 inches wide was gray and black since he did not want to pay additional $100 for yellow ink. Well, he also didn't want to pay additional $100 for the whole thing. Yeah, he didn't. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Matter. You might as well pay for the yellow then.
Right. Can you make it glow in the dark? Because I'm not paying.
Right.
Fuck it. Paint it however you want. It don't matter. Make it a back tat. Who cares? I'm not paying you. But yeah, he refused all options to satisfy his debt. Now, what are the other options? They're like, you got some weed or something. Police frisked him, and it turned up he only had $6 in the driver's license in his bag and nothing on this person. He was charged with theft. He lives in Clearwater. He bonded out of jail last night after posting $150. Now, see, if you would have had the $150, they might have worked with you.
Yeah.
$150 plus the 6 you had, that's almost the whole tattoo.
Yeah, okay, we'll take that, beat it.
He pled not guilty to the misdemeanor in addition to
not guilty, it's on you. The fuck is this?
Right. It's gonna be exhibit A. He gonna cut his leg off before they get to court. Your Honor, I don't know what they're talking about.
They be like, Your Honor, just roll up them pants right above the calf.
I had to come in here in a wheelchair because I only had one calf. I cut my leg off. Lost it in the wood chipper, so I guess
not the wood chipper.
Open and shut case, I win. But yeah, he also has several other tattoos, including the black and white tribute to the Insane Clown Posse on his forearm. Marcus said customers occasionally try to walk out without paying for tattoos, but that usually occurs during spring break, not the holiday season. Karen, guess the race of Mr. Max Alexander Kretschkant.
I'm going white.
Karen is going white on this one, everybody. She's going white on this one. And you can go to Waffle House. I'm Kevin Hart. Go to Waffle House and get some delicious Waffle House waffles.
Get that money, Kevin.
I'm gonna have to fight somebody. White calf, Insane Clown Posse. Oh, he's white. Got the tat to commemorate his time in the joint in the house and being a juggalo. White. We had Waffle House 2 weeks ago. The Grits with Flames. Okay. Woohoo Clown white. Insane Clown Posse white. YT the whites. ICO. Or I guess ICP white. The correct answer is white. Y'all got it. Doing the peace sign.
Yeah,
and that's his tattoo.
Oh, it actually looks good. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's a pretty good tattoo. A little uneven, but not that bad.
Probably he was drunk. He's probably moving around. Could you be still?
Yeah, you're not supposed to give people tattoos when they're drunk, technically, but I guess it is Florida, so.
Yeah, you're not supposed to, right? That's what they say.
I mean, if you don't, then like, when would you ever get tattoos in Florida?
There might be a problem.
Let's go to this one. A customer upset with Subway order charged with battery after striking the worker with his sandwich.
Oh.
Yeah. An irate Subway customer who was upset his sandwich had been cut into half was charged with battery after allegedly hurling the offensive sub at one of the fast food chain's employees.
Don't they cut him in half, particularly if it's a whole one?
I guess you got to tell them not to. Maybe he did and they didn't do it. I don't know. I don't know. He threw that. He threw it at the sandwich artist.
Just for cutting in half. Okay.
Yeah, it says. Yeah, they said. Yeah. Oh no! After it had not been cut in half.
Oh, okay.
So he was mad they didn't cut it in half. Yeah.
Oh,
so
you could have just went back and be like, "Can y'all cut this?" I better cut it.
Right. Just, hey, can you cut this in half?
Because I've done that before. Like, it'd be wrapped in the paper. I'm like, can y'all cut that? That slice right on through the paper and everything. I'm like, thank you.
You cut it in half. Tear it in half. I don't know. Bite it in half. Following a brief spat, De Barros, his name is, what's his first name? Alberto De Barros, 54. Too old to be acting like this.
All right.
He became upset with her after finding out that his sandwich was not separated. He began a disruptive scene. So then the woman told him, "Hey, I will no longer be serving you." And he immediately made a phone call. Or the dude told him now. Okay. Someone said, "Wait, who's Pierre Louis?" Because they say he threw it at a woman.
And I guess that
Pierre Louis. Oh, Cassandra Pierre Louis. So I guess they misgendered her. Oh no, I see what it is. Okay, so she said, "I won't be serving him," and then he immediately made a phone call. In the midst of the call, the sandwich was thrown at her. The sandwich struck her in the mid to lower body section. Deputies did not say what kind of sandwich the Barrows had ordered. So it sounds like he must have cussed her out or something.
Yeah,
she's like, "I'm not cutting the sandwich now that you've been rude."
Right.
Then he threw the sandwich at her while he was on the phone talking to somebody else.
Right. And it's really fun. And it would not be surprised. This is one reason why they tell people, while you're in line, get off the fucking phone. Because I guarantee you he's probably talking on the phone the whole time or some shit like that.
Well, no.
Oh, he called afterwards?
After, yeah. She said, "I won't be serving you." And then he made a phone call.
Ah, okay.
Now, also, they captured video evidence of him.
Of
And
course.
his demeanor and his car license plate. He claims he thought he threw the sandwich on the counter.
Mm-mm.
Right. Come on
You
now.
aimed for her.
First of all, they got that glass partition thing. Number one, so you gotta do some aiming to try to even hit the counter.
Right.
Two, you know the difference between throwing something to hit the counter and throwing something at a motherfucker. Come on, man. But yeah, another employee was also present during the assault. He was arrested for battery, which is a misdemeanor. And he was released after posting $1,000 bond, which is a lot more expensive than a sandwich.
That's more expensive than your $5 footlong.
All right, Karen, guess the race of Mr. Alberto de Barros.
Latino.
All right.
Did they charge you with assault and battery?
Assault and assault and vinegar chips. I don't know. I'm sorry. Where's the? Oh, here we go. Sorry.
I couldn't help myself, y'all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he bonded out of jail because I don't think he would have cut the mustard. All right, let's see what the chat room thinks. Spicy Chipotle Latino, Subway El Sapo, Fresho Latino, taking sandwich, slamming it to another level. K-Baz will be proud. Latino, Hispanic should have requested it on a tortilla. Mexicano, Latino, assault and balsamic. That's funny. Latino, machismo, asshole. Ooh, all right, the correct answer is Latino. Gotta go there.
We put these up on YouTube, and YouTube might flag it.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I wasn't gonna say it, but and the chat doesn't go on YouTube, thank God. But this is him. This is him. 54 years old. Throwing sandwiches on people.
Throwing sandwiches on people.
Let us pray. All right, let's go. Let's go to. You think when the police showed up and he was like, I want him arrested for throwing the sandwich at me. He's like, did you tell him that you didn't cut the sandwich? Did you tell the folks that? You bitch.
Oh no! Oh no!
How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
Gold teeth, gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey ate baboon, big thigh, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
When they was like, you hit her with the sandwich, she was like, no, that was a cold cut. I couldn't help myself. I know that was terrible.
He had a lot of balls. Meatballs.
Yes!
Okay. Last one. Felony case no longer a pain for doctor. Prosecutors have declined to pursue a felony case against a doctor who was arrested for striking her ex-husband with a handful of bread slices she had soaked with water before throwing them at the 70-year-old victim.
Oh! So it was soggy bread?
Right. What is... How does that help?
I don't know.
Is there something more? I mean, I guess...
It probably weighs more. Because, you know, regular bread just bounce off of you. Put what on that
It still don't
bitch.
seem like it would hurt.
No, it won't hurt. It just fucking lay on your skin longer.
I think psychologically...
Now I have to bathe.
I think there's something psychologically to it.
Yes, it is.
Like, I
Throw
think...
wet bread at me.
Getting hit with soggy bread seemed like it would really suck.
Yes.
You're just like, why the fuck did you hit me with soggy bread?
You people are like, damn, what's happening
You
here?
could just hit me upside the head with the bread still in the package.
Right.
You have to throw
Just use
soggy...
the baguette. What the hell is this?
Yeah, he's 70. She's 58. She was arrested last month following an altercation inside St. Petersburg.
Oh, she might got charged for attacking an elderly person too.
Yeah, I guess so. She was charged with battery on a person 65 years or older, 3rd-degree felony.
Yeah, don't be beating up on old people. Don't be playing that shit.
Yeah. I wonder why she did it. Oh, to each their nature's own, though. Cops reported. It's funny, no matter how you slice it, guys.
Right?
Cops reported that the victim said he was arguing with Neely when she grabbed a handful of bread from the loaf, wet the bread at the kitchen sink, and then hit him with the soggy slices.
She meant to do that. She wants you to feel that bread. She didn't want that bread to bounce off of you. You were like, what is that? She was like, she want that bread to fucking stick to your face. That shit hit you, it's gonna stick.
And then he called the cops. He still called the cops.
I don't blame him. I'm 70 years old. Right. The cops on you too, bitch.
At 70, I feel like a wet slice of bread might kill you. I don't know.
Shit.
He's
that
like,
might break a bone.
That might be it.
I might lose my balance. No, bitch, I'm calling the cops.
Right. I don't really get out and exercise much. I'm loafing around.
That's
good. She's like, I don't know. It was I don't know why he's upset. I just threw some bread at him, and he was like, did you tell the cops that the bread was wet?
Did you tell the folks that? You bitch.
That's gonna make me holler every time. I love that clip.
Well, the deputies arrived in response to the 911. Man, that 911 call has to suck.
Yes.
Because I know you, like, as a man, I know it's wrong and patriarchal and you're not supposed to think like this, but I still have a little bit of that in me. And I for sure would be like, I can't call the cops for this shit.
Yeah, and you know they'd be like police, fire, or EMS.
I need 911. Why? Because I'm being abused.
I'm being assaulted.
I've been assaulted. Oh my God, sir, you okay? Yes, I have, but I'm assaulted. She gotta go to jail. This is abuse. I have wet bread all over me.
They were like, sir, from what? How did the bread get wet?
Sir, are you feeding ducks?
Yeah. Are you outside? Like, what's happening here?
Why is
the ducks attack you? We don't understand, sir.
Is the bread wet with blood? No, it's water.
Just regular ass water.
So you said he had several pieces of bread stuck to the shirt.
Right.
Of the shirt. After being read her rights, she reportedly stated that nothing happened between her and the victim, but she could not explain the wet bread in the garbage can of the kitchen.
You really just thought you were gonna throw it away in the trash?
Encyclopedia Brown could have solved this one, ma'am. That's a pretty open and shut case. I don't know why wet bread is stuck to his shirt. I had nothing to do with it.
Ma'am, all they had to do was follow the crumbs.
Right.
I don't understand.
Right. Neely and the man divorced about 8 years ago, but they lived together in the home, which she purchased after they split. Following her collar, a judge ordered her to have no contact with the victim and to surrender any firearms, weapons, or ammunition.
I mean, she got to leave.
She possessed. She pleaded not guilty to the battery charge. She was also fitted with a continuous alcohol monitor, so maybe they're blaming this on some alcohol.
And also, not so funny, you know the economy bad. They divorced 8 years and still got to stay up beneath the same roof because they was like, oh shit, it's cheaper than going on I'm on.
Ironically, Karen, she didn't have the bread to get a new house. Neely, who was released on her own recognizance after December 9th confrontation, learned this week that the state attorney had concluded that the facts and circumstances of the matter do not warrant prosecution at this time. Yeah, because I imagine they're like, all right, what I got on my docket today? Child murderer, rapist, terrorist, domestic violence, and speaking of domestic violence, this woman threw some wet bread at her ex-husband.
They said, get this out of my courtroom.
He's like, why'd y'all bring this in?
You know he did.
Why y'all bring this in? Y'all know I'm not prosecuting that. But we got this is an open and shut case. We got the wet bread. We caught her wet-handed.
All right. He was like, no. Dismiss.
Right. All right, Karen, guess the race of this Dr. Heather Neely.
White.
Karen's going white. like some white bread, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what they think in the chat room. Do I need to scroll up or something?
They just slow.
Okay.
That's not
well, I
slow,
didn't see
but-
where you asked them to
Okay.
guess, so that's why I was.
And I
saying.
mean they slow, but you know it's a slow delay sometimes.
Okay, but you did ask them to guess.
Yes, it's down at the bottom. You don't see it right
Okay.
up beneath Lakita.
Nah. Last thing I got in the chat is remember Van in Atlanta killed a dude with a baguette. Is that the last thing you see in the chat?
Nope. I have.
All right, so my shit's broke somehow. I don't know what happened, guys, but the correct answer is white. Y'all got it. Good job.
Okay, I'm about to say I see all the comments.
What was that about? I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either.
But it's all good. It's all good. I'm sure they had some lively comments. Here she is. Okay. She like should throw some bread at a motherfucker. She got
Come
the
on.
Karen haircut. Okay. She like, listen, okay, I don't play about my bread.
I bet she said, I wish a Marita would.
What were they arguing about?
Shout out to those who know what kind of bread that is.
Right. What were they arguing about?
They don't even make that no more.
Maybe he deserved it. You know? She might have told the police.
Did you
Right?
tell the folks that? You bitch.
Yes.
All right, sword ratchetness. All right. Let's get to some sword ratchetness. A man attacked with samurai sword at Deception Bay. I'm just gonna say the bay is kind of already giving you a warning with the name.
Deception.
You can't trust it.
Why am I going anywhere like that?
All right.
Man has suffered serious injuries after being attacked with a samurai sword outside a Deception Bay pawnbroker. Tonight we can show you the chaos as staff and customers came to his rescue.
Staggering in, clutching his head before ripping off his shirt to stem the bleeding. A woman grabs her phone to call police, helping to put pressure on the man's wound. The rest of the store quickly rallying to help the victim of a samurai sword attack. It was just after 1 o'clock when the man was ambushed in the car park behind a Deception Bay plaza. CCTV on the building captured the attack unfolding in the far left corner. Witnesses say they saw the man walking when a car pulled over. At least 2 people attacked him with the sword. The man struck a second time as he tried to run away. Nearby, a shop owner had been serving a family when the victim ran inside to safety. The owner quickly locking the doors as his customers rendered first aid. The attackers got into a car and fled the scene, police later catching up with a 32-year-old man who's now in custody. The man suffered a severe head wound and was taken to Redcliffe Hospital in a stable condition. Safe thanks to the fast actions of a store owner and his customers. Lawrence Jeffcoat, 7 News.
Wow.
There you go, guys. It's crazy out here.
It
Safe.
is. Be careful.
All right. Motherfuckers got swords. You go into the pawn shop. Next thing you know, you need first aid.
Right?
Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you have a happy MLK Day.
MLK Day.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. I feel like we ran the gamut on this show, and that's what that's what the
That's what
show's
we
about.
do.